Good day, everyone. I will be discussing the monetary and non-monetary incentives and disincentives when setting a price on social marketing campaigns. First, we will be quickly going through the things that we will cover in this module. So first, we will be defining price in social marketing. Second is we will determine incentives and disincentives in social marketing. Third, we will be understanding how to set prices for tangible goods and services. And lastly, we will be discussing ethical considerations for pricing strategies. Now, let's define price in a social marketing perspective. It is the cost that the priority audience associates when adopting the desired behavior. It can be monetary or non-monetary. Monetary cost in a social marketing environment are most often related to goods and services associated with adopting the behavior, while non-monetary costs, these are costs associated with time, effort, and energy required to perform the behavior. These can also be psychological risks and losses that might be perceived or experienced, and any physical discomforts that might be related to behavior. So our objective in using price as a tool in our social marketing campaign is to develop and provide incentives that will increase benefits and or decrease costs. And there are 6 price-related tactics that we can use to achieve this goal, and we will be discussing them in the next slide. So first, we can increase monetary benefits for the desired behavior. So these monetary benefits can be rebates, gift cards, cash incentives, and price adjustments. An example of this would be banks giving gift certificates or Gcash to their target market to influence them to practice using a credit card when making their purchases. Next, we have increase monetary benefits for behavior. In the social marketing environment, they often take the form of recognition or appreciation to acknowledge the adoption of a desired behavior. So by signing and keeping a pledge or commitment, a participant receives increased self-respect. And it is also said that if the recognition is made public, the value increases, with public respect increasing perceived value even further. Third is the decrease of monetary cost for the behavior or for the desired behavior. So methods to decrease monetary costs are also familiar to most consumers. This could come as discount coupons, gift cards, trial incentives, cash discounts, quantity discounts, and any other discounts out there. We also have promotional pricing and segment pricing. So going back to my reference, to my bank reference, they offer rebates and discounts to their customers who use credit cards. So this can be an example, or this is an example of decreasing the monetary costs of the target audience in exchange for the desired behavior. Fourth, we can decrease non-monetary cost in exchange to the desired behavior. So this can be in the form of what we mentioned earlier as non-monetary costs, form of time, effort, and physical and psychological costs. So it was also suggested that reducing usage time by embedding a new behavior into present activities can be an effective tool or can be an effective tactic for your participants to adapt to that behavior. Fifth, we can increase non-monetary cost for competing behaviors. So in the social marketing environment, again, this tactic is likely to involve influencing policymakers as the most effective monetary strategies against the competition. Um, it often requires target audience to increase their taxes, impose fines, or decrease funding. Um, an example is in 2010, a new law was passed in Washington, USA, imposing $124 fine to individuals who are talking on the phone while driving. And this is a good example of this tactic. Other examples of this could be the sin tax law in the Philippines and the gambling fee on credit card purchases. The last tactic that we will cover is the increase of non-monetary costs for competing behavior. So in this case, you may be creating or emphasizing negative public recognition. You may also highlight the downsides of the competing behavior. In an effort to reduce teen pregnancy in the US, an organization established the Teen Aware Project. The organization developed a campaign centered around highlighting gross consequences of having teen sex. One was the highlight of the discomfort of an individual suffering from STD because of teen sex. And in another approach, a girl recalls the pain of giving birth. It is also claimed that commitments can be a key tactic to help move an audience from intention to behavior. So to strengthen the target audience's commitment, you can highlight the benefits of the desired behaviors. Example of these benefits could be improved health, environmental protection, injury prevention, or community involvement. Social marketers are more often involved in helping to decide what tangible goods and services would be beneficial in facilitating behavior change, recommending discount coupons and related incentives, and then promoting their use. That's the reason why it's important for us to set set the price properly, or the price objective properly, and then agree on that, on what price objective or objectives of the campaign are, and then that's the time that we can set the price. So for us to the things that we can consider as objectives are maximizing maximizing retained earnings, where the primary consideration is money making. Second is recovering costs, where revenue is expected to offset a portion of costs. We can also maximize the number of target adopters, where the primary purpose is to influence as many people as possible to use the service or buy the product. An example of this is providing free, say, condoms to farmers. We can also use this the fourth objective, which is the social equity, where reaching underprivileged or high risk segments is a priority, and different prices might be charged according to their ability to pay. So an example is a sliding scale fee for a particular campaign. We can also the market, where pricing strategies are used to discourage people from adopting a particular social product, say syntax law in the Philippines is a good example. So once the pricing objective is agreed upon, setting specific prices gets easier. So three options to consider include the following. So we have cost-based pricing, where prices are based on a desired or established profit margin or rate of return on investment. We also have competitive based pricing, where prices are more driven by the prices for competing or similar products and services. Lastly, we have value-based pricing. This is where prices are based on an analysis of the target adopters, evaluating demand at varying points. This is something that is normally neglected whenever we are doing a social marketing campaign. So we also need to consider the ethical issues that might arise during the stage of this campaign, the pricing strategy stage. These ethical issues can be issues of social equity, potential exploitation, impact and fairness of public shame tactics, and lastly, full disclosure of costs when adopting the desired behavior. So let's summarize what we covered in this module. So first, we define price in a social marketing perspective. So price of a social marketing product is the cost that the priority audience associates with adopting the new behavior. We also discussed the 6 price-related tactics that we can use to increase the target audience's benefits and decrease their cost. And lastly, we were also guided on how to set the price objectives for us to be able to set our prices appropriately. Before I let you go, please use these prompts and engage on our discussion board. So first is remember that we formulated a social marketing campaign at the start of this course. Now, please use one or more of the price-related tactics on the social marketing campaign, um, so that you can make your campaign more effective. And also, please determine the ethical considerations during this stage of your campaign. Thank you.